90-Day Fiancé star Loren seems increasingly unhinged as of late, sinking deeper into some wild fantasies about her life, including the idea that her recent mommy makeover was wholly natural. Fame may be getting to Loren, who has spent a pretty penny updating her image, perhaps to satisfy the whims of critical followers. She's never going to please everyone, and should focus on being happy, but Loren hasn't learned that valuable lesson yet. On Instagram, Loren's oversharing is sometimes relatable. For example, she's cried because the demands of parenting were exhausting her. Loren has lived with postpartum depression. She's really suffered, and there's nothing wrong with sharing what is genuine. That kind of emotional honesty can help other people, making them feel less alone. However, now and then, it seems like Loren is consumed with her audience. In time, they may grow weary of her, and then, where will she be? She cares too much what people think, and it's hurting her. 8. Loren makes her surgical makeover sound natural. However, fat transfer is invasive plastic surgery. Loren has described her recent plastic surgery transformation as a natural mommy makeover, but really, it's plastic surgery. It's just that she had her fat transferred from one spot to another. Fat is a natural material, but the process by which it's transferred is not natural. She's claiming it's natural because she isn't using things like implants made from lab-created materials in order to change her appearance. However, natural procedures do not necessitate going under the knife. It shouldn't really matter if Loren's makeover is natural or not. The issue is that she's invested in selling people a lie. Perhaps it's a half-truth. She appears to want people to believe that she hasn't had real plastic surgery, but Loren has. The best thing she can do to appear more authentic is create a narrative that makes complete sense. As long as parts of her story aren't logical, as the facts prove that they don't make sense, she may be perceived as a poser. Other women have talked about their plastic surgery procedures. There's no shame in doing so. If a woman wants to restore her body to a pre-baby form, what's wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. By downplaying the fact that her cosmetic procedures aren't natural, she appears to be trying to deflect from the fact that she had plastic surgery. It's like she's ashamed of it. This mindset might make people who've really had it feel bad, like she's throwing them under a bus. 7. Loren's Israel trip sparked outrage. She should have seen it coming. When Loren went to Israel as the nation's conflict with Hamas raged, and posted touristy photos that touted the wonders of Alexei's homeland, Israel, she was playing with fire. She must have realized that people would have very strong emotions about Israel, as there's been so much press about possible war crimes. People who support Israel support the country with all they have. They don't think that Israel is disregarding the rules of warfare, which are designed to prevent atrocities. This is a very emotionally charged topic. People who wade into debate must understand that they will be challenged. So, traveling to Israel as people argued about who was right and wrong online, they still do, was almost guaranteed to inflame some of her followers. They may have perceived her positive comments about Israel as support for the nation's activities during a very controversial war. Loren posed in sunny Israel, and the backdrop was peaceful. It was a typical couple's holiday picture. However, since a war is on which involves Israel, some people who believe the country is in the wrong took to the comments section, sharing some heated opinions. One of them denounced Loren, adding this harsh remark: "Supporting Israel means blood on your hands." Another said that if she supported Israel in the conflict, she was supporting the murder of children. Loren's husband is from Israel. She and Alexei are Jewish. It makes sense that they'd support his native land. That's how a lot of people decide who is right or wrong in a conflict. If they have strong ties to a country, they'll support that nation. However, not everyone who is Jewish and or from Israel supports Israel right now. Alexei and Loren have shared their views on the conflict, and they support Israel. When Loren posted about her trip, maybe she thought she'd get a lot of love. Sometimes, Loren just isn't realistic when it comes to assessing situations and facts. She runs on pure emotion. 6. Loren overreacted when she was called a bottom feeder. She flies off the handle. Big Ed Brown had a lot to say about Loren, as per an ET interview, calling Loren a bottom feeder. He didn't appreciate an earlier interview of Loren's, where she made it crystal clear that she couldn't stand Big Ed. The issue here is that Loren drew first blood, instigating the conflict. Then, when Big Ed responded, she lashed out. This speaks to Loren's maturity. She can dole out a remarkable amount of abuse, but when she's criticized, she can act like a child. Loren needs to stop making harsh statements about co-stars if she wants the shade to go away. However, she can't seem to help herself. Over and over again, she will say things that other people don't like. Then, she acts shocked when they blast her. This type of immaturity makes it seem like Loren has a poor grasp of how adults think and feel. It's sort of a high school cafeteria level of feuding. It's not particularly deep or eloquent. Loren goes low, and when others go low, she's outraged. 5 Loren's online fashion shows seem like attention-seeking. Is Loren trying too hard? Loren is a Cancer, and these women are extremely volatile. A typical Cancer woman is nurturing, but can be childish herself. She babies her loved ones. It's true, but she wants to be babied too. If a Cancer native isn't getting enough attention and love, they will look for ways to feel better about themselves. When a Cancer like Loren poses online, as she did in the Instagram post above, where she showed off her Halloween costume, she is sending a message: I need love. I need to be liked. When Loren dressed up as a doormat, as she did above, she may have been trying to play the victim. It wouldn't be the first time. She wants to be perceived as hard done by, someone that people should sympathize with. However, Loren has a mean girl reputation, so maybe there's more to her than meets the eye. Getting attention is something that a lot of Cancer women enjoy. However, they are so emotional that they may occasionally seem histrionic. Cancers are acutely sensitive to everything that's going on around them. They are intuitive enough to sense how people feel, because they're hardwired to interpret emotional data. From body language to speech to actions, they are often on tenterhooks, waiting for disaster. This is why they seem so moody. Cancers have wild mood swings because they're processing information, using their intuition to understand it, and then wondering what will happen next. Will things be okay? They get moody when they think things aren't going their way. This sign desperately wants security. They want faithful partners, a loyal tribe, and loving relatives. They want a white picket fence and 2.5 kids. When anything gets in the way of their Norman Rockwell fantasies, things can get ugly fast. Loren's frequent meltdowns show a Cancer woman who's living in fear. Loren's afraid of the obstacles, such as caring for children, and health issues. Loren has Tourette's syndrome. She's worried about how she's received online. A Cancer who's living in fear will cry and emote and want reassurance. It takes a lot to reassure a Cancer who's in turmoil. Some Cancers find unhealthy ways to cope. Booze might be an example. Another might pick on someone else to feel more important. Cancer is like an eternal child, and the goal is to self-soothe. Sometimes, they make mistakes while trying to feel better. Loren's had the roller coaster ups and downs of a typical Cancer. She's a different woman every day, but her reactions are totally predictable. She'll try to get attention and lash out if it's not the kind of attention she wants. Again, that's because she's trying to feel better. 4 Loren may be delusional about her perfect marriage. Is it really that great? Loren is someone who's deeply involved in her marriage. She's very proud of the family that she's built with Alexei. Maybe too proud. She seems to want the world to believe that her life is ideal. However, it may not be. Above, the two pose happily on Instagram, but Alexei actually tried to get her birthday gift, a spa day, comped because he's a celebrity. At the least, Alexei wanted a deep discount. That seemed a bit unromantic. There's nothing wrong with saving money, but when all that came out, it made Alexei look like a cheapskate. In the past, there have been issues, so everything's not perfect between them. For example, Loren used to complain that Alexei wanted her in traditionally female roles. Basically, a barefoot and pregnant type of situation. He prefers it when she's at home, caring for the children and cooking and cleaning. That could be perceived as sexist, and it was a hot-button issue for the duo. That's probably not the only thing they've argued about. They are parents with young kids. Life is probably fun but tiring. As Loren continues to promote her ideal marriage, she sets the stage for trouble later on. They might start to have problems so extreme that they can't be hidden. If that's the case, all the glowing praise she heaped onto Alexei may seem so delusional. It might be better to tone down the happier-than-ever stuff. If Loren pays less attention to how people feel about her and really listens to her own body and mind, she'll be better off. Gaining approval online can be gratifying. But really, what is on those platforms isn't an accurate representation of life. It's akin to a bunch of actors putting on a show. Sometimes, a little reality creeps in, such as when emotional truths are shared. However, even in that context, people can be actively trying to get attention. Loren's need for approval is a major weakness, something she needs to work on. Being so tuned into other people is stopping her from being herself. Loren's many breakdowns are worrying fans. Is she too emotional online? Loren's always been emotional, and fairly recently, she had quite a meltdown online. However, one fan, who responded to Loren's teary-eyed post, made fun of her, even though Loren was promoting #mental health awareness, which seems noble enough. She was mocked. That person said, "Who takes a picture of themselves crying?" That was kind of funny, but also mean. With Loren, it's so over the top that people are going to notice and some of them won't like it. It's possible that her many outbursts are just making her life harder. Instead of being considered someone who has it together, she is thought of as a person who's unraveling. If Loren stops posting the high-emotion stuff, where she's crying and clearly having the worst day, it might help to repair her damaged reputation. However, it's possible that she'll always been seen as a woman who's way too emotional and invested in getting a reaction from other people. Some might even think she's faking a few of her emotional storms to get likes, comments, and clout. Loren doesn't acknowledge that she can be a mean girl. She thinks she's always a good person. Loren is oblivious when it comes to her mean girl reputation. She's been called out for being mean on Pillow Talk. In fact, her appearances on the show really changed her reputation, turning her into a more complex and problematic reality star. Before, she was part of an ultra-wholesome duo. She went out of her way to promote that image, but she has a dark side too. She ganged up on former gold digger Anfisa Arkivchenko, which was somewhat offensive. She's also dissed Larissa Lima and Chantal Jimeno. Women who don't support other women are a special breed. They are so competitive that they can't set that aside and just be there for other females. While Loren is all about compassion and caring online, when it comes to her comments about coasters, she's not a nice person at all. In fact, some of the stuff she does makes her seem awful. However, if she was challenged about being a bully sometimes, she'd deny it all. She doesn't see herself that way. Loren doesn't consider stepping out of the spotlight. Maybe fame is too much for her. In the Entertainment Tonight video shown above, Loren cried. She does that a lot. However, it never occurs to her that the pressures of fame are acting on her and bringing her down. Since she's so susceptible to public opinion, being a celebrity may be hurting her mental health and sparking regular crying jags. It might not just be parenting and the exhaustion that it brings that make her feel bad sometimes. It might be trying to please trolls who are always going to put her down. If the 90-Day Fiancé star Loren makes an effort to unplug sometimes, it'll be great for her, even if it's just occasional breaks from social media. That kind of space can work wonders.